I love the atmosphere in Mexico, though. It feels much better than London games. It feels like there's much more of a buzz and excitement. Yeah.
See, for me, I think my biggest takeaway, we lost. So that might have muddied my memories of the game there because we lost to Blake Bortles and the Jaguars, which we shouldn't have. We should have won that game, and we did not. He had expectations of winning. That's why I had celebratory vitamin things ready to go. What's up?
Isn't it a plus that it's a later game, though? Because Mexico is always going to be like a late game. Because England's always like morning.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, but
when you play in England, what time is it actually playing? What time are you playing at?
It depends on what time zone you're from, right? So if we're the Eastern Standard Time Zone, the world is much different than if you're in the Pacific. Even in America, that's the case. So when it comes to timing, I'm not sure that's really because anytime you get off of your normal routine, like the Chargers went to Denver and trained or Colorado. They went to Colorado and trained. Yeah. So they spent time away from their families to go train for this time that they lost. I mean, that's tough. That's a dumb boom. That's a.
Oh, so I'll say more like fan wise though, like why they're more into it.
So some games start at 9:30 here. Some start at 1 here, which is 7 o'clock over there.
But in London, though, I thought it had good energy. And that might strictly be because the most memorable thing for me over there was, now granted, that was during the National Anthem. Cromartie came out. Our National Anthem thing was happening. And when they sang the American National Anthem, this guy sang it. He was an opera singer, sang very well. But there was still drama, right? And Tony Cromartie was taking a knee. It was almost like in the NFL, we wanted to move past. It's like, I hope this just kind of moves. And then whenever they sang God Save the Queen or whatever it is, that entire place was wide open as if they were screaming it. And I remember thinking like, oh, this is awesome. And I think that kind of clouds my judgment on how I feel about their energy because the game literally started off with them all screaming at the top of their lungs the national anthem. And then they would whistle and they cheer differently, I think, than American fans do, right? Like clapping and whistling mean two different things, I think, over there for soccer players as it does for us. So I think they had pretty good energy when I was there. Now, it might not be every game. They have some stink games that go over there. But for our game, it felt good. But last night, down there, that felt like an Olympic atmosphere. Like that felt like a real atmosphere down there. And I think that's just a part of their culture. I think it's just a part of their culture to lose their minds down there. And a lot of football fans it felt like down there too.
Also, one of the cooler things I saw last night, I don't know if they sell popcorn or not, but instead of walking around with like popcorn, the one vendor was walking around with ramen noodle cups.
Ramen cups.
Oh, let's go.
That is
come on.
You want to get people back in your stadiums here in America? You get oodles and noodles out there for $1.50.
It was awesome.
Think about that. You want a beer for $7? You want this hot dog for $6? Or do you want these oodles and noodles for $1.50? Give me the noodles, please. And can I get the chicken seasoning? Yeah. And then can I get a loose leaf piece of American cheese too?
Come on.
Put it in there and make the whole thing. That's genius over there.
Had giant sporks too. I didn't know they made sporks that big. That was amazing.
Well, for oodles and noodles, you got to go in there.
You have to.
Yeah, you have to. That's hilarious. Good for them. That field, though, a lot of ire from folks. And they said it's a soccer stadium, obviously. No concerts, which they said was the problem last year. Nobody's been on it for 2 weeks. So that is the best that field was ever going to look. And I thought it looked beautiful at the beginning of the game. I mean, it was coming up, though. I think there's different styles of grass, which is something. There's like the bluegrass, the Kentucky bluegrass, and then there's like Bermuda grass, and then there's all these other types of grass that are good for different things, by the way. Like one's good for soccer, one's good for golf, some are good for football. You got like that basic ass. Yeah, I can say that. Mid-level grass that is just good for like junior highs and stuff. Like there's different levels of grass. And I think, I'm no botanist, and I'm not sure if the botanist is the right answer for this, but their roots are different too, I think. So some come up a little bit easier or in different fashions. I think that grass last night was a particular grass that might come up in chunks and much easier, which, by the way, soccer, the only time you're really sliding is during a slide tackle, which isn't regular. Football, you're on the field a lot. So if that's like good soccer grass, might not be great football grass, which we saw last night. There was people that it looked like they were on slip and slides there a couple times. That's a game changer, by the way, especially if you're playing against a fast team. Like it's a shame Tyreek Hill couldn't stick around because he could have weaponized that grass for people. Sure. Imagine him just hitting the scoots and the person they were going to look like Mighty Ducks out here.
I think that grass is more used to 130 to 150 pound players.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I think there is different.
Because the people,
you're 100% right.
The players who said that they didn't have a problem with it were all the wide receivers. Because I assume they're just
And it's
lighter
to their
in their
advantage.
use.
Well,
Yeah.
and they know when they're stopping, so
Yeah.
they can put the
Right.
brakes on a little bit more. The other people have to be able to cut on a dime. Yeah, they were slipping and sliding all over the place.